G'day everyone and welcome to Self Reliance Australia. In this week's video, as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. And so look, our fridge did die on us. I was only sort of like freezing everything. So the cooling factor sort of disappeared and just went straight to freeze. But what we want to do is also, when we bought a new fridge, we want to get a slightly bigger fridge. So we want to go from the old style single door fridge to a double door. So what that meant was I had to cut a bigger space. I had to create a bigger opening in the cupboard. So that required me to cut some cupboards out and to make space for the new fridge. So look, anyway, I hope you enjoy it. If you're new to the channel, thanks for coming along, and please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoy it, please give us the big thumbs up. And if you're coming back, look, thanks for coming back. I really do appreciate it. And I really do appreciate all the comments that people leave from week to week as well. So I do get back to everyone with those comments. So look, hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So the job for this weekend is to create a bigger opening for the fridge. So that will mean this will have to come out, that will have to come out, and what used to be the shelves in there will have to come out, and also need to cut a piece of that cupboard off there. So the first step will be to empty out, before we start emptying out some of that stuff, but empty out that cupboard, clean the bench tops across here to get access in there. So we got a clean work area and make sure nothing breaks as it gets moved around and vibrates around. But that will be the job. Now, as per everything else on this channel, I haven't done anything like this before, so I was just trying to work out what the best approach is and where to start. Can always be the tricky part, because this part that I need to take out here, some of it's nailed, some of it's screwed. The screwed part is okay because I can unscrew that. The nail, a little bit harder to get into and cut off. But anyway, we'll see how we go. So I've unscrewed that and it's slowly coming out. So I've got this little shelf, I guess the piece that was under here, that fell off actually, but this is now pretty tight. So that makes it hammer time. What I've done, I've actually used a circular saw to cut through here just to get a nice, clean, straight cut. I've gone as far as I could, then I use the Sawzall to try and get that last bit, which I did. A little bit off center, but that's okay because I can tidy it up with this. This was prefabbed and put in, being a kitchen. So what I want to do now is get down through the back and cut the back piece of the wall off, so I can detach it from that bit. And then I'll probably go back to the Sawzall to do the bottom board, because the bottom board is fairly thick, so it's about 1/2 inch thick. So then I'll cut through that We'll see how we go, but that's definitely detached from the top, as you can see there. So we'll go to the next stage. But so some of the things I will need to fix up or tidy up are these gaps along here, and then as we go up to the top, you know, through here as well. So that'll be a bit of work once I get all this cut out. So this is where I got up to after the first afternoon. So look, I did only start after lunch. I thought this would take me the best part of a day, but actually got through it in a few hours, so I'm really happy with that. So obviously taking the cupboard out, the divider wall, taking out that little shelf box, and that was all one piece. So once I got the screws out and some of the nails, you can see these nails at the back are holding it in. That was a bit tricky, but just leave it off. Got through the partitions, got this part out, and I have put this little piece back in the bottom just to tidy it up for the time being. So that just neatens it off. That was on the end of it of the original, so I've just put it back in underneath that gap, so it closes that gap off. That's where I was hoping to get to actually at the end of the weekend. So I'm here after one afternoon, so I'm pretty happy. So the next job is finishing off this framing, so I can put some more wood across the top and just finish that job off, get that ceiling cavity closed off there, and I'll just neaten it all up, and that would be job pretty much done up the top anyway. And then I've got to look at some tiling down here, finish that off there, so clean up around the edges where the old grout was, put the new tile in. I'll have to cut some tiles into that space, and then we'll be good to go. So look, that wasn't too big of a job. I just put some bit of framing around. So now I'm going to put a sheet across here, and also I want to cut up another piece to go across here. I'm just going to use this old board. So not this one, but the one that came off the other side. I'll cut it up because this does paint up okay. It will save me probably a couple of $100 on, or maybe at least $100 anyway, on getting that piece done. I already have the paint anyway. I do need to paint this wall as well. Now that I've taken all this other stuff out, this particular wall really now stands out, even though we will be putting a new fridge back into the space. But so I still need to paint that anyway. So while I've got doing that one, doing a little bit up the top is not going to be a big deal. Back up the shed, so that's the old wall I took out. Now I'm going to measure it up, cut it up, and try and reuse as much of it as I possibly can. If you're wondering why I put masking tape on over my line, then put another line on, It's just so when I'm cutting with the circular saw, I don't chip the edges of the Laminex. So that has a cover, like, I guess that is like a hard shell over the top of just MDF board, so it's just chipboard all glued together. And when you use a circular saw particularly, it'll leave big chips on the edges and it looks very unsightly and it's a bit hard to cover up. But by using the masking tape, it seems to be magic. I guess it just holds that in place as it's cutting along and provides a little bit of extra support, and so the damage is nowhere near as bad. So there we go, end of another day. So I now have this piece up in here. I've also sealed off the gap at the back. Look, that had no timber behind it, so I've just really had to fill it with some good old silicone. Over here it's called Sally's No More Gaps, for obvious reason. Gaps be gone that they have. Look, there is still a bit of a gap just up here, but that's actually got timber behind it, so I know nothing is going to be coming out of there. So I didn't feel a need to close that, especially by the time the fridge goes in, no one's going to be seeing that piece. The reason I did this one though is, like I said, there's nothing actually behind that, so bugs and stuff can come through. So I've sealed off all of that nice and tight. But now it's no longer just a wall with open bits up the top. It's now all sealed. The cavity is now sealed, ready for the fridge. Well, it's not completely ready for the fridge to go in. What I now need to do is paint obviously the tops and the sides. Now that process is the same as the kitchen. It's going to be a 2-pack job. Look, I've already done a video on the kitchen, so I'm not going to do another one on how to do that painting. So I'll probably wrap up this video at this stage. I still need to do a little bit on the tiling actually, so I need to clean up the grout, cut a tile for the back and a little thin piece down the side there. And then that will be done as well. So I thought that may be another video, but at this stage, I'm happy with what I'm up to. So it's about a day and a half's worth of work to cut out the old kitchen cupboards. So other stuff I did today was also fill this gap in here. That was a gap between the bench top and the cupboard, and also down the bottom. I think I did that yesterday. That's probably about it. I had to do a lot of framing, as we've already seen previously, and then put these up. So very happy with the way it's turned out. Look, I was able to reuse the old sheet that was on the other side. So it's been a zero cost to get all that done up to that point. So very happy with that.